The three presidential candidates start their election campaigns. Residents in the old city of Homs continue to return to their houses, checking on their properties and belongings. Head of the Turkish Bar Association embarrasses Erdogan during a large meeting by criticizing the policies of his corrupt government. Good afternoon, welcome to our news bulletin. I'm Dania Nizam. The three presidential candidates started today their election campaigns according to the Constitution after the Supreme Constitutional Court announced the final list of accepted presidential candidates, namely Maher Abdel Hafiz Hajjar, Hassan Abdullah Nouri and Dr. Bashar Hafiz al-Assad. The forthcoming presidential elections is scheduled on the 3rd of next June, a date that is awaited by all the Syrians to cast their ballots and choose their candidate for the post of president in a bid to enhance the democracy and to boost the Syrian determination to fight terrorism and those who stand behind it. In Homs, maintenance workshops worked on clearing the rubble from the neighborhoods of the old city and started planting flowers as residents of these neighborhoods continued to check on their properties and belongings after the Syrian Arab Army restored security to the area. Governor of Homs, Talal Barazi, called on all the residents of the old city and Jurat al-Shayyah who wish to inspect their properties to revise Al-Hamidiyya Police Center at the municipality building near the new clock. With the aim of protecting the citizens, the governor of Homs called on the citizens not to touch any strange objects inside their houses, urging them to communicate with the concerned parties in such cases. Meanwhile, praying for security in Homs, a mass was held at the church of Zanar in the old city. In Damascus countryside, the Syrian Arab Army units eliminated several armed terrorist groups. Most of their members are non-Syrians, including the Chechen Qadiriya Sheikh Bakir, the Turkish Lawrence al-Bashqati in Al-Mleha farms and near Al-Ghaida bridge, as well as in Ain Terma. In Aleppo, a unit of the Syrian Arab Army eliminated all the members of a terrorist group in Saif al-Dawla neighborhood, maintaining control on the buildings down Al-Zabdiya area. Other Syrian Arab Army units repelled attacks by terrorist groups coming from the side of Al-Krum, north of Al-Aziziyya village, killing most of the terrorists and injuring the rest and destroying their weapons and ammunition. Syrian Arab Army also targeted the terrorists' hideouts and gatherings in Al-Layramoun, Al-Rashidiyya, Al-Artiq, Al-Atarib, Khan al-Asal, Tel Naam, Jab al-Safa and Tel al-Tabil in the city of Aleppo and its countryside, killing and injuring many of the terrorists and destroying their vehicles. In Iraq, armed men assassinated 20 soldiers they kidnapped earlier to the north of the country. The new terrorist act coincided with the continued military operations against Al-Qaeda terrorist organization in Al-Anbar province, where the army tightened its control over Al-Naimiyya area to the south of Fallujah and continued chasing terrorists' remnants in different parts of the governorate. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani stressed that his country will not stop its peaceful nuclear program, as it will not seek to acquire nuclear weapons or weapons of mass destruction, calling on the West to recognize its right to possess nuclear energy for peaceful purposes. President Rouhani stressed in a speech during the inauguration ceremony of 3 new nuclear achievements in the field of health that the Iranian people will not give up on their nuclear program, adding that the threats and sanctions would not undermine their determination. Since the early morning, the citizens in Donetsk and Lugansk to the south and east of Ukraine continued casting their ballots in a popular referendum of self-determination that came a few weeks after a similar one that took place in the Republic of Crimea, which resulted in joining Russia. The voting process will continue in the 38 centres until 10 p.m. local time. The official results will be announced tomorrow. In Turkey, head of the Bar Association lashed out at Erdogan in front of a large crowd of officials in the hall room of the Turkish State Council. But as usual, Erdogan answered by describing him as he describes all those who criticize his policies as mercenaries and terrorists.
Güzel bir şey söylüyorum Sayın Başbakan. Neyi yanlış söyledim Sayın Başbakan? Burada çok yapıcı bir konuşma.
Erdogan boycotted a statement by the Turkish president of Bar in the ballroom of the Turkish State Council in Ankara, after the president has talked about the corrupted performance of the government in its internal and foreign policy, which embarrassed Erdogan, who in his turn has acted out of the norms. The diplomacy of the president of Bar disturbed Erdogan, who had to get out with the minimum losses before his truth is revealed more in front of everyone. When Erdogan ran away of the ballroom, the president of Bar stated to the media that Erdogan's boycott to his statement in an uncivilized way is such an insult to the Bar Association as well as the Turkish constitution, which is not surprising by Erdogan.
That concludes our news bulletin for today. Thank you for watching us. For more news about the region Syria, you can always join our website on syriaonline.sy. After the break, it's Fani with our economic and business news. God bless you and long live Syria.